Okay, so as you can probably guess, I have only just recently woke up. I didn't sleep that much because I was doing something on my computer and then forgot about the concept of sleep. So, hey, hi, how's it going, everybody? My name's Exodius, and I'm gonna do something spooky. I'm also very, very sleepy, so after I'm done editing this, I'm going my ass to fuck to sleep. I'm gonna hope that this actually uploads. Finishes exporting before the day ends. So what we have a while ago, I think on a stream, I had checked out these videos. Actually, no. Let's start from here. I had checked out videos from this person, Alex Kansas. I hope I said that correctly. And I had reacted to this one called Liberty Lurker, which was basically the Statue of Liberty doing some creepy fuck shit. Now, we've already checked that one out, so what we're going to do is we are going to go to the next one, Rushmore Revenge. I know nothing about these. You know what? I'm going to lower the brightness. There we go. That is much better on my eyes. So we're going to run this back, and we're going to have a good old time. Where's the audio? There we go. The National Park Service finds the Mount Rushmore Memorial vandalized. Someone gave it the workaround too. The U.S. government can find mass murder if it's labeled as a national movement. Oh, the U.S. government can't fund mass murder if it's labeled as a national movement or I'm not sure. Everyday executions occur in 2,600 American landmarks. My neck hurts. The blood of liberty will be avenged, and the sons of Lincoln will be freed. I'm going to make a prediction. So these videos are normally like, hey, this thing has this little bit of history that actually is this creepy ass thing. The souls of the faces on Mount Rushmore, their souls, I can't remember who's actually on the damn thing, but it's like their souls are stuck in it. Their souls are in those faces, and they're actually just locked in there. August 14th, 2003. More messages found on Mount Rushmore. Wait. I will introduce infection next week, Monday, Sunday, 10/12, 10/13. Watch the symptoms. That's a whole lot to say at once. August 18th, 2003. Due to national security security concerns, the National Park Service assigns patrols for the next 7 nights. The patrols are told to videotape all anomalies from 10:12 to 10:13 p.m. Monday. What? See, I'm half asleep and I'm still yawning. Tuesday. We're gonna watch a few of these. Ooh. What? That's getting faster. That stopped existing. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to actually full screen it, but I would like to acknowledge the fact that I swear to God, his fucking eyebrow had moved. I'm at least 78.3% sure that eyebrow fucking moved. I gotta could just be me. Accidentally slicker. Okay, the lights are still on Wednesday. Oh, that's not creepy in the slightest. What are you so zoomed in for, homeboy? Wait. Why does it look like he's... Why does it look like all four of them were looking at us? Thursday... Wait, no, something's off with these faces. What are you so zoomed in for? You can't tell anything's there. Friday... Yo, oh no. They're looking directly at you. Homeboy, you should probably be paying attention to the things that aren't that. Like, what is that? Your camera's not even focusing that well. Saturday. Remove lens cap. Remove lens cap. Why the hell is Siren Head on Mount Rushmore Sunday? Mount Rushmore smells like just like baby power nowadays. It comes in the stuff that the workers put on the. Yeah, I see them do it all the time. They go making it and powdering it like a baby. Hannah McElroy, photographer. Well, that was kind of disconcerting. I would like not to have the. I thought the faces were like turning, and one of them was gonna like crack and stuff was gonna start bursting out of it. And I have lost internet. This is why I didn't want to do a video today. I was like, okay, I need to. It's just give me a second. All right, and I am back. That's what I meant when I said my internet was absolute dog shit today. Okay. We have Alcatraz Attack. Now, that could mean a lot of things. I hope it doesn't mean what I feel like it probably means, though. Up we go. Yeah, go. Alcatraz Island, 2 days before therapy? That map of the Pacific Ranch, United States military position, Alcatraz Island, California. Fortifications. Okay, I realize this might be copyright, so I'm gonna talk about the reservoirs and everything that's going on. A water tower, that's a water tower, okay. That's the more kinda small, but hey, I don't care. What else? That's the stockyard. The stockyard, what's over there? The detector shed. I don't know if this is copyright. Main prison, understandable. I don't, what the fuck do you mean ruins? That seems kinda concerning. The tennis courts, okay, we get those. I just realized that. Okay, so I wasn't bugging. That actually looked like a cell. Like, I wasn't bugging because I had saw that thing there, that little oval thing, and I'm like, why does that remind me of the mitochondria? Hold on, let me go back to this, zoom out. No, it just kind of... Yeah, no, that is like the build out of a basic cell. Okay, so why is this thing built like a cell? Is that a bit loud? That is immensely loud, isn't it? Yeah, they always shift in volume. I think it said one day before therapy. Alcatrazosis. What does that mean? I don't like what I'm looking at. I'm too tired for that shit, buddy. What about this prison is exciting? Things to do the shit that I don't think it should do. Okay. Wow, radiation therapy 1. That was the fastest therapy I've ever seen. Projected movement. 1950. Oh, okay. The island's moving. I have to guess it's not supposed to do that. That is kind of concerning. Okay, oh my, what did it do to everything? Why is it growing? I don't know. That is very, very concerning. I apologize for how loud this is. I would lower the volumes, but I'd have to go into a bunch of other stuff to get... Oh. That's a lot of That's a... As of 2020, the Alcatraz zone extends to the West Texas. He really said Alcatraz and just made a bunch of himself. I don't like that. What do you do when, if that actually happened, what the fuck would we be able to do about it? Like, if they dead ass, if... Hold on. Shut up. It takes a second. But really. If we were in that scenario, what the fuck could we do about that? This prison island suddenly becomes sentient, turns into a cell organism, and then creates a bunch of itself, and then they bum rush us. What the fuck are we going to do? Like, we could probably destroy the island, yeah, but... what if all the smaller bits of island make more island, and then it just makes more island? Like, you'd have to just find a way to napalm it all. Well, I guess we'd finally have a use for nukes. Christ, if the world was like that, ooh, buddy, I'd want to be the fuck out of here. Okay. Democracy? I think that's what this is called. Well, this will be the last one. I don't want this video to be too long, because editing and exporting is already a colossal pain in the ass. And I'm also very...
During a program of ABC Evening News, anchor Peter Jennings told viewers to look forward to next week for a special broadcast of national significance. Jennings would continue to remind viewers of the special broadcast over the next 7 nights, even referring to it at one point as the most unprecedented announcement in recent history. A week after its first mention, Jennings reminded viewers of the special broadcast one last time, asking them to pay attention later that night for an exclusive look at the greatest gift to the American people. Due to the anticipation built over the week, over 60 million...
Now, if some random... Give me a second, everybody. 2 interruptions in the same video. Magnificent. Okay. Alright, and democracy. Back to this. Oh yeah, no, I remember what I was saying. If for some fucking reason someone says, oh, this is the greatest thing for the American people, given how diverse of a people we are, what weird arbitrary similarity is this thing going to pull from to be the greatest gift to all? And most of the time, the greatest gift to all ends up being something very bad. And this entire shtick here gives me Local 58 vibes, so I don't fucking trust it in the first place.
Did to ABC, waiting for the evening news to end and for the special broadcast to begin. There were countless theories as to what would occur, from the announcement of alien life to the declaration of an all-out nuclear war. Speculation was brewing intensely. Once the evening news program ended, a black screen with a 10-second countdown commenced with the title Dean Democracy. Some viewers, so terrified of the threat of nuclear war, reportedly experienced nervous breakdowns and ran down the street, declaring that Dean Democracy was the code name for an all-out nuclear holocaust. Yet once the countdown ended, all fears were soon replaced with tears of joy and an excitement not seen since the end of World War II.
What are we waiting for? Let's bring them back home.
Wait.
In the seconds following James Dean's presidential announcement, hundreds of thousands of neighborhoods erupted into celebration. Although other candidates had promised to end the Vietnam War, none had so accurately expressed the same anger that they had felt, which Dean had perfectly conveyed in a 15-second broadcast.
Okay.
Due to popular demand, the ABC Evening News was canceled the next night, replaced by a 30-minute loop of James Dean's presidential announcement. The broadcast was watched again by over 38 million Americans, and the party
more wholesome than I expected, I think. I don't know the actual series of events, so I don't know if this is...
Due to repeated assassination attempts on Robert Kennedy, the Democratic Party presidential debates were canceled for the 1968 election season. However, this proved to be no issue for Dean, as polls indicated that he was in the lead for the entirety of 1967 and 1968, despite having had fewer public appearances and rallies than any other candidate. The strength of his campaign relied on the powerful advertisements he directed that would air every Friday evening on ABC.
So, to specify, I know almost jack all when it comes to history that I actually took the time to remember. That sense made no sense. When it comes to history class, there's not much that I actually remember, like, at all. So, for the most part, I'm running on the mindset, because I'm running on the process that the character of Dean here either was actually one of the people from that time, I wouldn't know, or he is just being played as he's part of the spooky shit that's going to happen. Because I don't take the time to remember world history unless it's like really interesting to me. And more so than not, a bunch of old people being fucking idiots and causing wars because they're too stupid to get off their own asses isn't that interesting to me. So I am following this as well as I can. I don't know if Dean was an actual person or not. I think I remember something about someone named Nixon back then. But, woo, buddy, I do not care enough about the presidential debate for this. So
the series of programs would be considered by many as another weekly TV series, and went on to become the highest-rated TV show on television after the conclusion of Star Trek in 1967. Although a presidential debate was eventually scheduled 2 weeks before the election, James Dean instead invited opponent Richard Nixon to a track to race cars on the same night. Although reluctant at first, Nixon eventually agreed and went to spend the entire day with Dean, reportedly even telling the actor, "To hell with it, I'm voting for you. You're already a better president than I'll ever be." This statement, although only a rumor, would spread like wildfire in tabloids and permanently curbed Nixon's chance for victory.
Oof.
On the morning of November 1st, 1968, 4 days before Election Day, anti-Dean groups hijacked radio channels and told civilians they were fed up with James Dean and that television was ruining American youth. After the broadcast, the groups went on to cut hundreds of power lines in the southeast,
taking such a different turn from the other videos.
Ads from reaching any household below Tennessee. Dean quickly heard of the incident and, despite the risk of an assassination, flew down to the south and quickly went to work with local electricians to repair the broken power lines. James Dean would be met with a supportive crowd, primarily younger voters who were eager to see a younger face back in the White House. Elderly white conservatives, often the parents of the younger supporters, remained in their houses and occasionally peered through their window blinds to catch a glimpse of the handsome candidate. Although it wasn't known to Dean at the time, hate groups in the South had perpetuated the idea that he was Satan in disguise, and cited his good looks and his love for jazz as being clear signs of the devil.
Christ. That's something that will never... The sad thing is, there are people who actually think like that towards anything that is new. And even now, that shit happens. And I just get... It makes me salty. It makes me a salty little skull. But just... ooh, buddy. I've seen people be like, oh, this and that is the devil because that, and this. And I'm like, no, you just don't like new shit and you're just being a bitch about it. So shut your trap and let us enjoy what we want to enjoy. The number of times I've seen people be like, oh, this person's the Antichrist. That thing's a symbol of the devil. And the worst part is, it's almost always old people. It's almost always either old people or people that have old people putting a bunch of old ideas in their brains, and then they run on those old ideas, and then they get made fun of because, hey, you're running on old fucking software, homeboy. You better update. Dean is saying, like, where do you pull that from? Like, oh, this person is doing this thing that I don't agree with, but my beliefs are this, that, and this, so he must be Satan. It's just, it makes no fucking sense to me. It makes no damn sense to me at all. But where is this going?
James Dean is no man.
Elderly white
Okay. I'm gonna judge the fuck out of that. So, apocalyptic wasteland, creepy as fuck, and then hoity-toity, trotty James Dean suddenly wings, and he gets ready to fly off, doesn't fly off, and they say, James Dean is no man. And then you end it off directly acknowledging that you are part of the Anti-Dean Association. People that everyone knows are against him, so you would want to keep saying things that make him seem like he's in the effing bad. Wouldn't that make it harder for people to believe you? I think. I'm not sure.
In the Southeast would be the only demographic unfazed by his campaign. Yet Dean continued to travel from state to state, repairing power lines for 4 days straight until the very morning of the election. On November 5th, 1968, James Dean received 75% of the popular vote with 395 electoral votes. Nixon congratulated Dean in a phone call the following morning, but Dean refused to acknowledge the win and instead asked to race cars again at the track. On January 20th, 1969, James Dean held his inaugural address at the official Capitol Raceway. Although presidents in the past had speeches that were typically around 20 minutes, Dean spoke for less than a minute.
What do you say?
I have a speech, and it has the flotsam that you people expect to hear. But that's not fair. No, that's not fair at all. I'm here for all of you. It's only fair that you speak for yourselves. My words shouldn't be louder than yours.
Is this just a transcript someone else is reading? Because this dude sounds weirdly off, but at the same time somewhat depressed, and not in the, oh, he actually has a mental illness depression, or he's just sad. I mean, he seems like there's something directly off with him. Like I wouldn't be shocked if the Anti-Dean Association wasn't kidding. Like, his voice sounds not quite right.
So I've brought many other guests to speak. They're just people like you and I. In the same time that many other presidents have spoken by themselves, America will speak. Thank you.
I mean, this seems like a...
Dean proceeded to introduce many groups to the microphone, including civil rights activists and Native American families. Martin Luther King Jr. would also come forward to speak in his first appearance since an attempt on his life 9 months prior. President Dean would conclude the inauguration with a brief bongo performance and went on to race Richard Nixon at the track, In subsequent presidential inaugurations, those who disagreed with the elected president would instead celebrate Dean Democracy Day and protested by watching Dean's unique take on the address in place of the actual one.
Where's this?
In a televised address, President Dean planned to inform Americans of his first 90 days in office.
Is this?
However, 6 seconds into the broadcast, the audio cut out and remained absent for the remainder of the speech. Although anti-Dean groups claimed responsibility and took pride in the sabotage, many civilians claimed that it benefited the president. The silent broadcast highlighted President Dean's sincere facial expressions and lively disposition, as opposed to the stern and stiff personalities of prior administrations. Viewers were proud to see him in his prime at the most important position in the country. Ironically, President Dean's popularity grew after the technical difficulty, and film director Stanley Kubrick went on to call the broadcast the greatest silent film ever made.
What is this? I am so many levels of lost. Hold on. Okay, you know what? Since I don't remember a goddamn thing when it comes to actual history, hold on.